January 22, 2025. This is the S&P 500 E-Futures Mini on the 2000 tick chart using NinjaTrader 8. This is what the chart looked like today. In the pre-market, there was a rally, consolidation, small rally, another consolidation, another small rally. I would say kind of a small sell-off and into the close. This is how I drew the charts today. As you can see, I saw this big up and then kind of this bigger channel and then this noisy channel down. I'm just going to go ahead and color this guy in. I took a total of 4 trades today. It was a challenging day for me. I got wrecked because I got lost 3 in a row, and then I shouldn't have, but I did take a 4th trade, which in itself was, I would say, so-so, and I was profitable, so I was able to minimize some of my losses. But in all honesty, I should have stopped after my 2nd loss, as per my rules. So I definitely broke my rules today. Count's a little down, and then this is where the trades occurred. It was a very slow consolidated day compared to yesterday and compared to the day before. So I think today just goes to show that I need to be a little more careful. There wasn't as much volume, so I should have been more patient, especially after the 2 losses. I think it was just kind of a walk away day. But anyways, I'm going to go into the trades right now. So the pre-market, it has this very nice channel that moves up, very nice and uniform. These are some of the trades I took yesterday. It's kind of a mess as well. Creates a new high, first entry, second entry, but it hits this kind of this consolidation trading range. And here it looks like it was a first entry long, second entry long, no real setup that I could see that I liked because this is the inside bar for the signal bar. So it looked like it was 2 legs down, bottoms here, pushes up, break of the green down channel, break of the green up channel, and then 1 leg up. It also created a new low. It created a first entry short, pull back, created the second entry short. This second entry short I actually thought was a possible trade. I like that it moved. So this is the ATR, average true range today, was very low. So these candles look like they're big, but they're all actually really small, like typically less than 2.5 points or 10 ticks. So there was a lot of congested, tight price action. Had to be extra careful. I should have taken that into account more carefully, but I was also reducing my profit target to just 1 point instead of going for 2 today. The setup here is new low, first entry short, second entry short is a break of this yellow up channel. Looked like it was 1 attempt, 2 attempt, it failed. So I thought this could have been maybe a lower high potentially of this, downwards movement, but it is a second entry short. And I thought it was a good signal bar. And there's only, in this case, 9 ticks. There was enough room from here, 61.13.25 to down here, 61.11.75. So you have just enough for a 1 point scalp. Then it moves, it kind of consolidates, and it was a new low here, a triple bottom. So I'm thinking I'm in a range. First entry short, pull back, creates the second entry short. The second entry short is nice. It doesn't quite have a triple test yet. I didn't really count this as a first touch. I counted this as 1 touch, 2 touch, excuse me. And it is making lower highs, and it's hitting a consistent support right here, which I don't like because now there's not that much room. This is actually 1 tick below this one, so your chances of getting out is a little bit tougher. This is like 61.13, and down here is 61.11.75. So that's exactly 5 ticks. I mean, you could argue it's going to come pushing to maybe here's the low, but it's proven 3 touches now that it's the low here or a support. So I call that an almost trade. Prices then continue moving. It starts moving up on this yellow up channel. I saw a new high here as a first entry long pullback, creates a hidden second entry long. So this is actually I think it's a possible trade, but I just didn't like it that the signal bar was pretty big. So I left it alone, just saw it as a first entry long, second entry long, not for me, wait for a higher low. You kind of get a higher low here, but the follow through wasn't that nice because I don't like that it made a double bottom and it closed right. It closed very neutral for that type of signal bar. When a third bar shows up, it closes high, so I don't like that there's not that much room to scalp out. There's exactly 1 point, so it's a very tight trading day. Moves up. I saw it as a break of this yellow up channel, so it's break, 1 attempt up, 2 attempt up. So technically this yellow up channel has made 2 attempts to the high after this break. Now, depending on how you drew it, I drew it with a break because I thought it tested and connected better at the bottom. But if you actually drew it like this, then there is no break. But it doesn't quite fit as nicely up here. So I'm going to leave it as where it was here. And that kind of sets it up for my first trade. So I think the yellow up channel potentially has played out. So there's a break here. Say one attempt, pull back, second attempt. So in real time, I'm seeing this as a second entry long that looks like it's about to fail. First entry long, second entry long. Here, technically, second entry long failed, but I jumped in early. So I thought it was a break of this yellow up channel. Uptrend has played out. This is a good signal bar for going short, I thought, but the context wasn't that great. But I was thinking it was going to test the low of this green down channel. So I jumped in before this candle closed, right at the lows, hoping for a 1 point scalp, but it only moved 3 ticks. So I fell short. But even if it moved 4 ticks, it's debatable whether I would have actually gotten out. And you could say there's a 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, but you don't know that till this candle closes that there's a triple test. So I entered early when I shouldn't have. It chops around, and I was debating because my stop loss is 1 tick above this red line. I was debating, should I just get out break even? Comes down. So this is my first chance to get out break even. I skip it. It pushes up. It comes back down. This gives me encouragement. I go, okay, well, it might actually come down, but I neglected to think about the support because I'm thinking I'm in a range now. So if I'm in a range, I actually kind of shorted at the low of the range. This isn't a very good setup. Here, I probably should have taken myself out break even. I had a second opportunity to get myself out break even, but I waited, pushes up, and stops me out. So it stops me out. I was feeling, okay, you know, that was avoidable had I just been a little bit more, I guess, more willing to admit I was wrong earlier, and especially when it was sideways consolidation. Nothing wrong with getting out break even instead of taking a loss. Just admit that it's probably not what I thought it was. And as the price action evolves, if I'm not right, or even if it goes where I wanted to go, I should have just taken the break even and gotten out. So it creates what I thought is a triple test here. I saw 1, 2, 3 triple test. I said, well, obviously it's going back down to the bottom of the range. So I shorted here 1 tick below, immediately reverses and stops me out. So that was 2 losses in a row in quick succession. I thought since this is only 6 ticks, it's worth the risk. So yes, I risked a total of 7 because I actually, well, 8, I guess. Entered here expecting at least a 1 point move down to 61.2275, which is a bit low here. It looked like it would have made it, but I was wrong in that trade. So now I'm just kind of sitting, looking at 2 losses. Per my rules, I should have just stopped trading, and that was my intention. I was just watching. And as prices come down, I would admit I was still probably feeling emotional. So I should have just hung up the trading at that time, but I didn't. So I saw this as a new high, first entry long pullback, second entry long. Obviously, this is a higher low. Higher low, bottom of the range. It's moving back up to the top of the range. I enter. I enter before this candle closes, which is a little dangerous on a sketchy setup like this where I'm not 100% sure what's going on. So I went ahead and went long. As you can see, it comes back down and crushes and flattens me out. So 1 tick below this guy was my stop, and it hits it. So now I'm looking at 3 losses in a row, and I also realized at that point I actually had a new low, first entry short, second entry short, and a lower high confirmation of the second entry long. Plus, in this case, if I had waited a little bit, I'd see a nice orange down channel, at least at the top side, with 3, 4 touch confirmation and rejection. But even if I did see this, I'm not sure that I necessarily would have taken it because even though it's a good setup, it's a 5 tick risk. As you can see, it's only 1.25 points. There is enough room to get down to here. So 23.75. I do 22.75 and a little bit more. So I do have enough room to get out, but I was concerned that there is support here. And there was no failed breakout on this side, so I wasn't expecting a failed breakout on this side, but it is pushing down. So my concern was that if it bounced off of here and go back up, but it is a possible trade if you're a little more aggressive. The prices move down, so 3 trades in a row, 3 losses. Definitely should have hung up the hat. I'm watching. I kind of get up and go do other things. Come back. So I'm watching some more. Actually, I didn't come back until about here. Right about here is when I came back. But I did mark this trade. It's a push up I didn't find this bigger channel till later because I had other channels going on, and price action and volatility was lower. So it was a difficult day for me. So when I came back, this is what I saw. I saw this big push up. I was looking and hunting to see if there was any way for me to have gotten on this. You have this failed second entry short here, but it's not a good setup. Pushes up, makes a new high, creates a first entry long pullback, second entry long. The second entry long I thought was a possible trade, admittedly more aggressive because the body is pretty far from the EMA, but it is a break of the green up channel, one attempt up, and in real time you're thinking, okay, this could be the second attempt up to test the highs, bounce off the EMA. So I think this is a possible trade. Risk here is 9 ticks or 9 tick bar. You'd have to sit through this a little bit, and then you probably would have gotten your 1 or 2 point scalp here. Hits the top, and that's kind of where I draw, or one of the trend channels that I drew, which was this one, kind of fit nicely. It was actually a little lower, and I had an overshoot, but when I made the second overshoot here, that's when I dragged it up. So I was working with this upper uptrending uptrending channel, but I was just kind of waiting. Prices move, first entry long, pull back. You technically have a second entry long. I don't like the setup. Doji, body below the EMA. You have a new low, first entry short. Pull back, second entry short. Again, not a very good signal bar. It's above the EMA. It's a very bullish red bar. It starts pricing, prices start moving down, and it gives you a lower high. I thought it was a possible trade because it's a new low here, first entry short, second entry short right here, and then a confirmation with a lower high here. Touch rejection of this confirmed yellow down channel now. Early break here, but it didn't really quite matter. It kind of started here. So actually, if you drew your channel starting here, then it still looks okay. This is a exactly 1 point bar. So I thought, oh, this is actually a pretty decent setup. It looks like it's a failed breakout here. Now it turns into a failed breakout pullback, pushing down. You do have, it is very tight because you have 21, 29, 61, 29, 75, and 61, 28, 75 is exactly 1 point. So even if you got it right here and try to go for 1 point, you're not sure it's going to have a bounce here. Ideally, this setup would have been higher or there would have been a bigger push down, that kind of setup to ensure you have enough room because you don't know that this is going to happen. So it is a possible trade. I thought it was a little aggressive for me, so I just waited. Pushes down, fail breakout, tests and makes a new low. Downtrend of this yellow down channel looks like it's starting to play out or be completed. It pushes up. You do have a new low, first entry short, second entry short, way, way far from the EMA. This is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Is it moving back into range? Not sure. Is this range even valid? Again, I'm not sure today. Prices move down. It's a first entry long. Technically, you have a second entry long. It's a bad signal bar. Pushes. Kind of oscillates like this. I'm thinking maybe I'm in this red down channel. It's starting to violate this loose up channel that I drawn. So I'm not really sure what's going on. New low, first entry short, pull back. Technically, you have a second entry short here, but it's really far. But it is a move of this green up channel. Break. So now it looks like it's trying to attempt to push up. So this is the first attempt up. It's going to go up in a second attempt up. So it creates a failed second entry long, and it failed to push and test the highs. So I'm thinking the uptrend of this green up channel, or the up channel here, has played out. There was some kind of, since deleted, some kind of resistance zone that I thought, okay, there's some kind of resistance being respected here. Is it part of a bigger range? I'm not sure, but I do know in this area there was some kind of attempt and failure to break through, and it was first attempt to test the high as this, second attempt and failed. So I have a confirmed failed second entry long. So I thought, okay, this is actually a decent signal bar. I'm going to go ahead and just enter this. This looks huge, but it's only 7 ticks because this is a very tight trading day. If you look at the scale on this side, these are just 1 point, and it's really, really tight trading today. This whole day has been like that, which made it kind of tough because it swing back, swing forward, and smaller signal bars meant I could keep my stop losses tighter, but that also meant like any kind of weird knee jerk reaction would stop me out. So I saw this, I entered 1 tick below, boom. Entered 1 tick below, my stop's above this guy. So it reverses up. I didn't like the look of this. Comes up and pushes down, creates a lower high. So that gave me confidence because again, I was thinking maybe I should just get out break even because, well, it's kind of served, it would have served me well today. And I wasn't trusting my read. And this is the fourth trade, which I should have stopped 2 trades ago. So I was kind of like feeling dangerous and feeling like I can't trust my intuition today or my chart read. So it pushes down. So it is from here, move. This is hard to see, but it's actually 1 point. So it's actually 5 ticks, 1 point plus commissions. And for the life of me, I really should have just taken the whole thing out, but I tried to play a runner and the runner got stopped out. So I should have just taken the whole thing off here, knowing today there wasn't really any big break runaways, except for maybe this one, but there was no way to enter. So why would I think to try to get a runner on a day like today? So I definitely should have just taken the whole position off. Didn't, went for a runner. Runner was a free trade though, so definitely could have used the runner to just help offset the losses. Prices moved down. It looks like it's following this orange down channel, respecting it pretty well. No clean setup that I could tell or I could find. Kind of gets choppy, breaks down. It breaks and has this really sharp overshoot, so I drew its own trend line down. You have a first entry short, technically a second entry short, not a really good setup. Too many dojis, and this is already into the end of the day. Kind of moves into the close. So today, there wasn't a lot of volume. Price action was slow. And since the candles themselves were very tight, it was difficult for me, at least for me at my skill level. Other people probably thought this was a breeze. I thought it was more challenging for me today, and it kind of resulted in, as you can see, 3 bad trades. But this isn't just bad chart read, but this is also bad discipline. So definitely is lack of discipline today. Probably a lucky trade here. Definitely should have just walked away after these 2 losses, but I pressed it and it's a bad habit I need to break because I need to just be able to take the losses of 2 and just book it. So, kind of how I saw the charts today. Hopefully that was helpful.